This is Pauline. She's my mum. She once drove past me when I was having my first fight and got out of her car to cheer me on.
Blake.
Michael.
Do you know what day of the week it is?
7.
Correct. The day of the week. It's the day that we have a This Is My video segment.
This is my day, yay!
This is my day.
Love This Is My Day.
So, in the hot seat today, we have David and the Goliaths. We've got David Mitchell, Greg Davies, and Richard Osman.
Nice.
So this is mine, featuring Pauline, and who knows what their story is? Let's find out.
This week, each of David's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest, and it's up to Lee's team to spot who's telling the truth.
Yes.
So, please welcome this week's special guest,
Great
Pauline. So, Richard, what is Pauline to you?
This is Pauline. Last year we met at a Snoop Dogg gig and we bonded because we were the 2 oldest fans in the room.
David, how do you know Pauline?
This is Pauline. When I was a cub, she was the Akela, and she had to take me out of the scout hut once for asking too many questions when we were being given a talk by the police.
And finally, Greg, your relationship with Pauline.
This is Pauline. She's my mum. She once drove past me when I was having my first fight and got out of her car to cheer me on.
Lee's team, where do you start?
Greg, how old were you on this first fight?
12.
Right. And so where was this? At school?
No.
Where was it?
Outside...
Outside the music room?
It was in a street.
In the street?
Yeah.
Who were you fighting?
I honestly can't remember his name. He was a lad, and he was in the year above me. And I remember he had fairly distinctive red hair.
Is that why you fought him?
I fought him because he'd fought one of my friends.
Oh, OK, so this was like a... You were like doing a heroic gesture.
Yeah.
And he was older than you?
Yes.
What was your friend called?
Well, I'm from Shropshire, so he was called Chinese Dave.
Is everyone called Chinese Dave in Shropshire?
No, I just think he was called Chinese Dave, and I honestly don't know the reason, because he certainly wasn't Chinese. I think it's because he used to wear a hat.
No, that would be it. That would be it.
That'll be it, probably.
What was your fighting technique, do you recall?
It was a sort of windmill of bones, just like this.
I give you the windmill of bones!
What was your mum shouting at you by way of encouragement?
I mean, as I recall, it was just get in there.
Do him,
yeah.
Get in there, son, is what I...
And was she there the first time you had sex?
This was in the street. Your mum was driving past you, saw you.
She knew about the attack on Chinese...
Dave,
yeah. Who wears a hat.
So I presume she saw what was going on and thought, oh, it's good that my son is avenging Chinese Dave's...
So, did she get out of the car or just do it from the window? Was it a drive-by?
She got out.
Who didn't win the fight? Did your mum then... Surely she stepped in and stopped her, or did she say, keep fighting?
Well, let me tell you, Patsy, the fight came to a fairly abrupt end.
Why?
And I'm going to give you some very specific detail now.
Thank you.
Because I was chewing polos during the fight.
Please, no, you're not going to try and convince us that they came out and your mum thought it was teeth.
Hear me out. I got caught in their mouth, and literally I spat polos everywhere. And my mum went, oh no, it's teeth, it's teeth!
What's your mum called?
Pauline.
Has she got a nickname, like Heckling Pauline or anything?
No, although I would tell you, she has an impressive history, because she was in a play fight with my dad once, and he locked himself in a toilet, and to get to him in the play fight, my mum punched a hole through a door. So there's obviously a violent streak in this woman. It is true, though. It's definitely true. That is my mum.
Next. Who are you going to do next?
OK, so we'll go with David, shall we? David, just let me recap. Am I right in saying that there was a talk by the police at the Cubs?
Yeah.
And you asked one too many questions to the policeman?
Yes, I was full of questions.
What kind of questions were you asking?
Well, I was asking about various, issues involved in fighting crime.
How old were you?
I think I was about 8.
Right. What kind of crime-fighting questions were you asking?
Well, you know, there was a problem, I felt. There was a problem with vandalism and graffiti in the area.
You know, at that age, you're supposed to be taking part rather than complaining about it. That's OK, different upbringings, that's fine. What are the questions?
I asked a lot about the locks in Cagney and Lacey. I was, at the time, very aware of the security measures in all of those flats in New York and the big locks on the doors. And I said, why don't we have locks like that? And how can, you know, how can we keep burglars out if we don't have locks like that?
Right.
And the policeman was saying how you can't keep out a determined burglar. And I was saying, well, why do we lock the doors at all then? I wasn't really aware that he was supposed to be trying to get on with the talk and the questions would happen at the end and maybe they wouldn't all be asked by me.
Where was this Cubs?
It was in Headington.
Headington?
Where I grew up.
Well, I know that. I don't think you travelled.
Yeah.
I assumed it was where you lived, otherwise that would be bonkers. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from Newcastle, but I
No, my parents thought about my parents had heard about a very good Cub Scout group about 400 miles away, and they thought about driving me there to get the very best training in absolutely. But
what badges did you get, David?
Don't talk about badges in front of Richard. Richard, remind us once again of your truth.
Pauline and I met at the Snoop Dogg gig.
Oh, where was he playing?
It was at the Forum in Kentish Town.
When was this? What year?
Last year.
Last year.
So he was called Snoop Dogg because he's been called a lot of things.
Well, he certainly has. In the olden days, he was Snoop Doggy Dogg, but now just Snoop Dogg.
But whereabouts were you in the Forum? Whereabouts were you watching the show from?
Well, we met when there was a delay, as there often is at rap concerts. There's sort of an hour delay, so I went up to the little bar.
Why is there a delay?
Well, because it's Snoop. You don't rush Snoop.
Who supported him? Did he have a support act?
Yeah, Corrupt.
What was
with a K.
With a K, wow.
With a K.
I'd have left after then.
What was his hair like, Snoop? How was he wearing his hair?
He was wearing his hair, he had sort of cornrows, essentially.
He knows all the words, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's definitely read up on this.
Yeah. And so you guys, your eyes met across the...
No, in this delay, I went up to, there's a little quieter bar upstairs, and I went up there to play a bit of Scrabble on my phone.
Oh, come
Because I was with younger people and they were enjoying the support act, they were enjoying the fact that there was a delay and there was loud music playing, I was enjoying it less.
Yeah.
Pauline was reading a book.
Right.
So I thought, OK, she's quite bored as well of this thing. So anyway, I'm playing my thing. She said, well, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I said, I'm playing Scrabble on my phone. She said, I didn't know you could play Scrabble on a phone. Right. So I showed her, and then we started playing Scrabble on a phone, have done ever since. And then...
Ever since? Well, you're going out with each other now.
You know what, Lee? Early days.
Have you actually met up with Maureen since?
Pauline.
You're not going to be able to dissect us with those blunt little...
So, Lee, where's this leading you? What are you thinking, Lee?
Alrighty. Do you want to rule out any of the three straight away?
Bob.
You're going to rule out Bob, the one that did not tell a story?
The two things he said had me in stitches.
I want to... Yeah, I know. I want to see a detective comedy show where it's like a good cop, bad cop, and it's Bob and someone else interrogating people every episode, and just Bob just like comes in with just the most random crap. I love it.
Okay, but as for this video, all right. So, oh god, I reckon we can rule out Greg.
He's your first rule out?
He's my first rule out.
Okay.
Only for the fact that he actually was, out of the three, for me, he started off the strongest. Even though he said it was his mum.
I thought the funniest part was it's like, this is my mum, and here's a random story, and then they completely focus on the story. It's like, it's his mum. Ask whatever you want to about it.
Like, yes. So that's why I think we want to rule it out, because they would know that it's not his mum. Asking about the story.
Yeah, they may know who his mum is. I don't know how close they are.
Yeah, actually, that's cool. They may. They wouldn't 100% know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, David's story, when I heard it, I didn't understand it, hey. Like, when he read it out, I genuinely was like, I still don't understand what is the story. And I thought Richard's story was the most unbelievable out of all of them until hearing it. And I think I think Pauline is Richard's friend.
Wow. See, my easy ruled out was Richard. I thought there's no way that's true. I don't believe that he went to a Snoop Dogg concert. I don't believe she was there. I don't believe they played Scrabble together. And I particularly don't believe they kept in touch enough for her to come on the show a year later. Don't believe any of it. Greg's story, like, I can believe because, like, it's... Yeah, he probably got into a fight. Yeah, maybe his mum went past. I don't know. I was trying to look for, like, do they resemble each other? And I couldn't really tell that. It would help if she was 6'9". But then, like, David's story, I'm like, that is so within the scope of David. And, like, he would interrupt a safety brief or, like, from a troop leader or a police officer, whoever it may be. I can totally see that happening. So I'm going to go with it's most likely David. It's maybe Greg. And it's not Richard. But, yeah, David's my choice.
Interesting. Yeah, cool. Well, you know me. I'm going Richard, David, Greg for my first, second, and third.
All right, let's find out.
Because they're all sounding chronically untrue.
The Chronic, of course, was one of the first albums Snoop was on.
Why did
I could see David in his cub shorts and being worried about the graffiti. He's not the sort of person that it would have upset him. And
I'm intrigued by the slight physical resemblance between Greg and the lady.
I know what you mean, yeah. Do you mind standing up, Greg, again? Would you stand next to this lady you claim to be your mother?
Next to my mum?
Well, let's call her a woman for now. Right. Now... I'm guessing for this mean average to work out, your dad is the Jolly Green Giant.
No, but you see, Lee, it's a fact that a son has to be taller than their mum.
it's either Richard or Greg, I think. So that's my answer.
So you think it's...
I think it's Richard.
You think it's Richard? You think it's Richard or Greg?
Yeah.
Don't forget Richard.
What are you going to say?
The Scout hat one. The
sorry, you still here?
The Scout hat.
OK, I need an answer, and I really do need it now.
We're going for David. He's trying to double bluff me at the end, so I'm going to go with David.
You're saying it's David?
And if it is David, I'll be so happy now.
You're saying it's David?
I think it's David.
OK, Pauline, would you please reveal your true identity?
My name is Pauline. I am Greg's mother.
Yes, Pauline is Greg's mum, and she did cheer him on when he had his first ever fight. It must have been awful to see him fighting.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Pauline. You're welcome.
She did seem to love his story the most when he was telling it. She was laughing a fair bit. Yeah, well, OK. Both wrong for that one.
That's why we love This Is My. It's just so good. Pauline, come back and let's learn more about you.
Yeah.
Guys, I hope if you guys like that, enjoyed meeting Pauline as much as we did, please let us know in the comments. And if you would be so kind just to hit a like, that would be fantastic.
And if you want to see more Would I Lie to You clips, in particular some This Is My clips, you'll find that in the playlist just up there. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for the next one.
Okay, bye guys.